喂喂喂，有。喂喂，有。
Dear all, can you hear me? Or 来，你现在收的。Dear all, can you hear me? 高子先生、今オンラインですか？おはり。Hi. Can you hear me?
Yes.
聞いていましたか？ Can you hear me? おたり
Yes, clearly.
Okay. How about Takahoko? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you clearly.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And Sakazume. Sakazume. Hi. Okay. Today we will start our course about the food safety and health. It's about the way of toxicity. I found some students from French is not online now, so I will need to check who is online and who is not online. Yeah. Sure. In this course, is anyone know the NTU Cool system? Is any problem? 对哈。
Excuse me. Actually, I didn't get this course in first term of registration term. So, in the course group one other term, I got this course, but maybe I got this course today, so I don't have any materials today. So.
Okay. About this course, I will give a short introduction later. Actually, in the first 3 weeks, you still, the student, all students, always in the induction and maybe choose it or not. It depends on you, so it's okay. So take it easy. So you can make sure and prepare and confirm it. It's about at the third week, we need to confirm all the students who will join the course or who will not join the course. Am I right? Now, actually, in the classroom, we have 5 classmates here. So I also hope to give some feedback from our classmates. Yeah, maybe we can show here. Can you hear? Can you find your classmate? Wave your hand. Can you find them? Okay. Okay. So just now I showed our classmate here. Okay. Here is the teaching assistant. Yeah. Jia Huang here. Okay. I share the desk to you. It's about the people in this system. It's called NTU Cool. Do you have the ID to enter this platform? All the class here is so actually the last So maybe you should give some short introduce. First, let me know who is the JIP student, who is not is JIP student. About the JIP student, please raise your hand. 2? Yeah. For you is from our Graduate Institute of Toxicology. Yeah. And another 2 students. From chemistry, okay. Geoscience, okay. So here we can find the name here about Lü Si Yin. Yeah, nice to meet you. It's from chemistry. Now is which grade are you? Second grade. Yeah, as the bachelor degrees. Yes. Okay. So from Yin Cailin is Charin, not here. Okay. So Li Junting is here. They are JIP's classmate. And here's Amanda, curator. Is friends from France. So Otari, I can find just now. Chen Yian, Yan is here. Our JIP student. So all of you have been shown here, but some student is not online. It's about the French student. Probably now is quite early morning in France. It's around 6 o'clock or 6:30. So they won't be here in the near future in Taiwan. Am I right? In April. So okay. So probably we will need to maintain the course here by using some software. We will use the U-Meeting. Yeah, first. The second one is we need to join in the food safety and health on the NTU Cool. So all of you have already invited into this classroom, NTU Cool. Yeah, you can log in there. Okay, so just now I gave an announcement, just like here. Okay, so probably we will need to add some in English, but the keyword probably the Japanese student already got it, so just have log in. So first, I will give a short introduction about our course here. It's NTU Cool. And the second is about the Zuvio, IR's immediate response system. So for our classmates in Taiwan, do you have the account of the Zuvio? Do you have the account? No? Okay, we will give some help to help you to log in the Zuvio. Okay. Here is for the student online in Japan, I will show you how to log in and download the Zuvio. Yoshaki, can you hear me? Yoshaki?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah. Now we are trying to give some information just shown here. Please try to download this application, this one. You can find so-called Zuvio. So maybe you can log in the internet, then try to find by using probably Google, Yahoo, or some searching machine. It's okay. we will use the interacting application to let the class to conduct smoothly. So you will answer some question online. Okay. So please download this one, and you can find the Zuvio, so-called the version here, and you can try to download first. Then there is some automatic. The first account have been registered by all NTU students by using your email in NTU. The passwords and default password is 123. So is there any problem about this part? So the Zuvio can then, when you log in, then you can find the course about learning of food safety and health.现场的同学有没有遇到困难登录的时候 ？OK， 好。CKCHIANG 后面再加上 NTU CKCHIANG NTU NTU.edu.tw 我账号名字，再麻烦你帮我请他看一下，然后再回复我一下。我现在上课听到待会13分就要停掉。喂，喂，我说，对对，好，再麻烦你。Hi, Watari. Hi. Have you already downloaded the Zuvio?
Yeah, I just download and put the information.
Does it work?
Yeah.
Can you find the course?
Yes, now.
You can find the course on Zuvio.
Yeah, food safety and health.
Yeah. Okay. How about the Takahoko? Takahoko.
Not now. Please wait for a minute.
Not yet.
Not yet, sorry.
How is Sakazume? Can you download Zuvio?
Now download it and now could you show me the
I cannot hear your voice. Please turn on your microphone.
When I download it, and could you show me the slide about this?
We cannot hear your voice here.
I said, could you show me the slide about this application?
Okay. 我知道我是在 I will share the text for you again.
Yes.
Can you find the Zuvio by Google search? 现场的有没有都 OK 的？ 对，一定要学校的信箱，它是原始就设定学校信箱。123，对，123，然后呢，你自己再改。Can you search Zuvio here? Search Zuvio and find the Zuvio. Then turn it into English. That will be easy for you. 実は漢字もしています。大丈夫です。Actually, I'm worried about the link of the U meeting. If it turned off within minutes, please log in again by the same account. Hi, who is on U meeting about Chen? Cai Chen.C. 请问这个是陈啊？财政 ，no problem. Probably the U meeting will stop with 1 minute for the basic user. Now they are trying to help me to extend, but if it had been turned off, please log in again. Hi Sakazume, have you downloaded the Zuvio and Takahoko?
Yes.
So, Sakazume, have you finished? Have you done?
No, yeah.
这个学期哎，这几天他们才把我们取消掉权限，要另外再去申请。本来是所有的老师、专任老师的权限都是专业版的，所以我们就只好先等一下。好，这边我现在简单的说明哈，因为课程上面哈，大概需要 OK，Watari has been online. Good job, Watari. 待会会稍微介绍一下哈。I will introduce how to download one, maybe a reference. It's a free online books. Yeah. 我现在有没有分享嘛？哈。By using the interactions app, it will be easy for you. I have already digitalized all the curriculum. So you can study first at Zuvio, at NTU Cool. So it's some online digital film. Actually, the course is from the NTU MOOCs. So NTU MOOCs have 2 courses about the food safety and toxicology, and food safety and risk analysis. 所以有2位同学还没上来。哦，没关系，我有。So now only Watari is online. So there is something. Okay. Online. Oh, hey, already online. Okay. So I will keep on going. So if you already download the Zuvio? How about the Takahoko?
Yes.
So does it work?
No.
Not yet.
This application require me telephone number in Taiwan, but I don't have it any.
Okay, I will help you later. So probably today we can give some introduction by using the PPT file so to discuss. So part of our classmate and can be linked to Zuvio and joined first. So Watari, you have found the Zuvio. So maybe would you please give a hand to Takahoko maybe after this class? Is that okay? Okay. Watari, is that okay? Hinako, okay. Hinako. Risco. So have you already downloaded the Zuvio?
I downloaded it, but
So you still have some trouble in this part, am I right?
yes.
Okay. So similarly, the Hinako, please gives a hand to the 2 classmates. Thank you. Okay. So I will introduce and start the course today. Yeah, sorry for some delay. At first, I will introduce by using the PPT here. 看一下哈。So can you find the PPT? Is okay?
Okay.
Okay. So I will start to discuss and give a talk here. 还有把这个 view 连上去。好 ，OK。Thank you for joining the course about the food safety and health. I am Qikang Zhang from the Graduate Institute of the National Taiwan University. No, not associate, a long time ago. Okay. And I'm also the co-professor of the GIP Triad course. In the Friday afternoon, actually it's almost at the weekend. It should be relatively very emotion relaxed time, preparing to join the night party tonight. So don't take too much pressure on this course. I hope you to enjoy it as much as possible, the first. So about the course is talking about the food safety and health. As I am a professor of the Institute of Toxicology, we will focus in the food safety in toxicology. And another part is food safety and risk analysis. Just as I mentioned just now, this course is some merge from the two courses from the National Taiwan University NTU MOOC, Mass Open Online Course. The platform is from the Coursera platform. So I can try to help you to find the course online first. 还有弄一个无痕的，为什么？它在哪？哦 ，NTU。You can find the NTU MOOCs. Where is it? So, in National Taiwan University have a lot of NTU and a lot of MOOCs course. So actually now I'm the director of the Digital and Learning Center. We can find here food safety. Here is about the food safety and toxicology. It's in Mandarin. We can shift to in. Actually, the course is starting in Mandarin, so probably not good for the international student. So I have already shifted all it into the English mode and make the field a digitalization, and it will be logged in, upload to NTU Cool. NTU not cool. NTU course about the food safety and health. It will upload for each week. For each week's course. So you can find the each week's. We will upload the file here. 已经点进去了吗？ take an example here. You can just click here. I have the, so just play. The lowest observed effect level, then followed by the no L. There's no observed adverse effect level, so-called. Okay, so you can study here. at first, before the class will be officially start here at 1:30 p.m. at the room 507. It's officially we open here, but the older student need to study first at home by self-learning, so-called brand learning in our course. You need to study by yourself through the NTU Cool first, and then we will discuss the detail here. It means we don't need to pay too much time here. I will just address and design some question for to make sure you have already clear the content I will deliver you through the NTU Cool platform. So can you catch what I'm talking? Okay, it's easy way for you. So if you have any problem here, no air, or our society, just stay, I cannot catch. If you just have any question, just type and deliver. So you can, there you find a comment and some anonymous to classmate. If you click here, I cannot identify who asked the question. So please don't be shy. Just deliver your question here. I can answer directly to you and respond to you. It will be more better than who have such a question here and there is no response here. It will be a real pity for a teacher to stand here. Yeah, so please promote the answer my question and give some response. It's very important. Okay, so you can just answer and start to study here. So you can find the week 1 here. It's about in the February 26th here. And I have already uploaded one PDF file. I click here and show you. You can find it's about a small dose of toxicology. Actually, it's a online free textbook about the small dose of toxicology here. Okay, so just now I have already launched here. Hmm. 不是这个，这是什么？ This is about the textbook here. It's free. So I will give some link for you, and it will be easy to link and download this part. You can study by yourself. The second part we are going to talk is the food safety and health is try to deliver about the food safety in toxicology and risk analysis. I hope all of you enjoyed the class. Maybe you, through this course, you need to think over and over about what you have been faced in this year or in your lifetime about the food safety event. Sometimes it's so-called food safety scandal. Sometimes it's the food safety lead to some health adverse health effect. So you can try to find all this part, and we will discuss in the class. So in this class, the course introduction here, I just mentioned food safety is a fundamental part of the public health concern, and achieving a food safety poses major challenge for our National Food Safety Office. In Taiwan, it's TFDA, Taiwan FDA, Food and Drug FDA, and changing the global pattern of the food production, international trade and technology, some public expectation for health protection, and a lot of factors, and increasing the demanding about the food environment in our food safety systems is quite important. For take an example, actually, if you like robust, probably the robust maybe in the Japanese sea, maybe just be harvested yesterday morning, and tonight in Taipei you can enjoy the food. So it means food safety and the goods is not limited in the regional area. For the COVID-19 year, we cannot go abroad and not easy to travel around. But for the food, it still travel around the world. Yeah, so the regional food safety issue will raise some concern because it's some kind of international trade. So it sometimes is an array of foodborne hazard. For the food safety, what kind of food safety have been faced? It can be divided into three parts. The first part probably related so-called biological. The second part is related to the physical. And the third part is the chemical compounds. So take something for example, for Salmonella infection is one kind of bacteria. If you lead to very severe organ damage and lead to some life-threatening situation. For the chemical treat, just in this half year, in Taiwan, a lot of concern of the public faced in some issue about the ractopamine. It's an beta-2 agonist. The ractopamine is an animal drug to promote the pig or cow and to be body slimming. So-called, just naming it slimming drug for the animal. And some issue have been raised. It's about the chemical issue. It's some chemistry-related public food safety issue. The third one is in Japan is 311 big earthquake lead to some tsunami. And that time, Fukuoka nuclear plant have been some severely hit. So the free radiation have been emitted to the environment. So it's some food contaminant in the regional area. So it's about some food safety issue focused in some part as in the physical part is a food safety issue. And the risks must be assessed and management. And so some growing problem and interesting complex then lead to the international and national concern in this part. So the course, we have some risk analysis part. It's a systemic and disciplined approach for making food safety decisions developed primarily in the last 2 decades. So I will give a comprehensive explanation about the content and what we should do in the food safety and risk analysis. In the risk analysis, there is 3 components, such as the risk management, risk assessment, and risk communication. So the risk assessment actually is a powerful tool for carrying out science-based analysis for reaching sound and consistent solutions about the food safety problems. So actually, it's just like the fundamental part for all the population get the same consensus on food safety. If we have the same consensus how to enhance our food safety based on the risk analysis, it will be easy for so-called professional and non-professional communication. It's very relatively easy to communicate with some specialists and to our general populations. So the basic concept about the risk analysis is very, very critical for our further solve the problem about the food safety. Yeah, so it's very critical. So the purpose of this course is to understand the basic concept of food safety, toxicology, and risk analysis. So some keyword I just named is toxicology, food safety, and risk analysis. So this part is some link I will upload on our NTU Cool to let you easy to approach to get the textbook about the small dose of toxicology, the health effect, and common chemicals. And another part is food safety and risk analysis, a guide for National Food Safety Authority, Food and Agriculture FAO of the United Nations. It's about the food safety and risk analysis. So please try to find the two textbooks for yourself. From now on， 这不是这一章的，对不对？哦，这 OK， 所以你有把它念出来了哈。OK， so we will evaluate the final report. The first, the second is make a video in 3 to 5 minutes. We will upload in YouTube. And what's the topic? I hope such kind of video is just the group video, not for one, maybe too heavy burden for you. Maybe we can try to, maybe 3 students can gather as one group and make a film. Maybe only no more than 5 minutes. It's try to find one topic and make a film to answer the question, address some critical food safety issue first. Then you can analyze by using risk analysis. Risk analysis and what have been faced about risk analysis include the risk assessment, and this part, what part need to have risk communication, and how about the risk management for the government and for the maybe for the personnel, anyone, what should we do? Okay, this is the first part. The second part is just mentioned is final report, maybe to address one issue and write down what you are thinking and what's the main reason it has been encountered, and make a report before the end of this semester. Okay, and the similar it will be at the end of the semester about the video. So here is the NTU Cool link, and NTU MOOC, just as I mentioned, food safety and toxicology and food safety and risk analysis. It's in Mandarin. So for the international students, please log into the NTU Cool. And for the Taiwanese student, maybe we should study in NTU Cool at some time, because in that situation it will be easy to discussion with the international student. Okay, because this time they are not here in Taiwan. Probably in this April, they will come here. We hope we hope you can join us as soon as possible. Let's go. Can you hear? Come here, please.
Yes.
Yeah. 日本的 Oh, okay. So Tsukuba University maybe suggest you stay in Japan. So this academic semester, all of you will stay in Japan. Am I right?
Yes, I think so.
Okay, okay. Please enjoy my lecture here. Okay. So just I mentioned, I will use the Zuvio and address some question, and maybe you can answer some question online. Maybe later we can try it and answer some questions. Sometimes I'm worrying about is sleepy after the lunch hour and in the weekend. So I will raise some question, maybe very not in logic. Just hope to arouse your attention. Okay. And just mention final report here. If less than 5 minutes, topic anything related to this curriculum. Okay. Scoring, the sum of the real by the classmate and by teachers. And due is the last week of the academic semester. Okay. So maybe I can show you some YouTube. Here is the one example.
大家好
Maybe in
我是
Mandarin,
王大
but
陆今天
but
2016
just
PM
take
2.5 这
an
个议题
example
带来
here.
所有最棒美好的回忆，在这个议题上会给你们带来各位满满的
大平台。
那 PM 2.5是什么呢？是下午2点5分，还是 Pokemon Go 2.5版？都不是。PM 2.5的 PM 指的是 particular matter， 悬浮微粒。简单来说，一切漂浮在空气中这些细小的粒子，就是所谓的悬浮微粒。
Okay. I just take this as an example here. Okay. 可以把上个学期。Last year, for the GIFT classmate, also have some video. We will share the video for all of you and take a look about what they are doing in last academic semester. Yeah. So maybe here I just will take a rest for 5 minutes and let you know how to use the Zuvio. For Japan, classmate in Japan, try to use and some connection. We will make some slide for you later and let you step by step to check and to log in the curriculum by using the Zuvio. Okay, here for classmate in the room 507, you can find your app and try to find the food safety and health, and try to find the question. What's the title of this class? This part is the rule of toxicity, food safety and health, or the rule of toxicology, or food safety and health. The comprehensive task. This part I just try to check, does it work or by your app? Okay. No one log in. (同学有没有看到题目？在现场的同学有哈，反正答案1嘛，反正答案按下去，我看一下大家的系统有没有问题。星星在。星星是国际学程的，所以你是从这个学期回来台湾吗？是谁寄给我？不是，是有一个同学，他说他是国际学程，是不是？还是有谁有寄信给我？他是从本来是 COVID-19 之后回来台湾的，然后来注册的，有没有从这样？没有啊，哈 ，OK， 来。 哦，这个关掉。
This video is going to demonstrate how
Hi, dear classmates in Japan. Maybe we just now I show the Zuvio and try to find. Have you answered the questions? We can find. 不是这个。Now. 5 classmates in Taiwan have been logged in. How about 刚才是谁有 log in 成功？应该是刚刚 Risco. Hi. Have you logged in the Zuvio?
No, I log in.
No. How about Watari? Have you find the question and gives me some answer response?
Yeah, now answer.
哪里 ？Okay.
Okay, now send my answer.
Yeah, please answer. Now I open it again.
Yeah.
Yes, welcome. 度日向子。Watari, do you know how to pronounce your name in Mandarin?
My name?
Yeah, in Mandarin.
Hinako Watari.
Hinako Watari is in Nihongo. In Mandarin, it's 度日向子。度日向子。Okay, it's 度日向子。I show you here. Is this one?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay. Let's take a rest for 5 minutes. And we will confirm the technology issue again. Okay. Take a rest, see you later. 好，在哪里？好，等一下，跳开。Yeah, just a 5 minutes short video here. It's from the JIP classmate, JIP student last year, 2020. So I show you here. Maybe enjoy here this for 5 minutes.
how does avian influenza affect food safety? To kick off, what is avian influenza? Influenza, commonly known as the flu, is an infectious disease caused by an influenza virus. Influenza viruses are classified into 4 genera based on its nucleic acids and protein compositions. Different influenza viruses adapt to different kinds of animals. Among them, all known subtypes of influenza A viruses have the ability to infect avian, including wild bird and poultry, and causing avian influenza. Influenza A viruses are divided into subtypes based on 2 proteins on the surface of the virus, hemagglutinin and neuraminidase. Famous avian influenza viruses includes H5N5, H5N2, H7N9, and etc. The highly pathogenic avian influenza virus, abbreviated HPAI virus, infection in poultry can cause disease that damage multiple internal organs with mortality up to 90%, often within 48 hours. The avian influenza is deadly for birds, and the pandemic causes tremendous economy loss. Fortunately, avian influenza viruses rarely cause illness on humans due to species barriers. If it is so, does avian influenza influence food safety? According to USDA, food safety refers to the conditions and practices that preserve the quality of food to prevent contamination and foodborne illnesses. In other words, if avian influenza can contaminate our food and induce foodborne illnesses in humans, we should consider what conditions and practices should be done to ensure food safety. Therefore, the question we should ask is, can the avian influenza viruses hop on humans via food?
Though most influenza A viruses only infect avian, sometimes some of them can somehow manage to cross the species barrier and infect humans. The biggest pandemics are Spanish influenza in 1918, caused by the H1N1, which killed at least 25 to 50 million people worldwide. Since then, like a cascade, H1N1 keep merging with the other avian influenza viruses and cause an outbreak of pandemic again and again, such as Asian influenza caused by H2N2 in 1957 and Hong Kong influenza caused by H3N2 in 1968. Recently, human infection with avian influenza viruses, though are very rare, have been reported sporadically. In 1997, human infection with the HPAI H5N1 virus were reported during an outbreak in poultry in Hong Kong. Since 2003, this avian virus has spread from Asia to Europe and Africa and has become an endemic in poultry population in some countries. In terms of transmission, human infection of avian influenza are primarily acquired through direct contact with the infected animals, namely ducks, chicken, turkey, and their eggs, and which are all commonly used as food, are all giving the risk of avian influenza transmission to human, and therefore, there is no doubt that avian influenza is a food safety issue that we need to concern and take the prevention strategy. What we can do to ensure food safety against avian influenza. Taiwan CDC urged the public to adhere to the 5 do's and 6 don'ts, guidelines to prevent the occurrence of novel influenza infection. The 5 do's include 1. Consume only thoroughly cooked meat or animal products. 2. Wash hands thoroughly with soap and water. 3. Wear a mask and seek immediate medical attention when symptoms develop, and inform the doctor of your job and exposure history. 4. People who have a long-term or repeated exposure to animals, including animal growers and workers, should receive influenza vaccine. 5. Take an appropriate protective measure when working in animal farm or slaughterhouse. The 6 don'ts include 1. Don't consume raw or undercooked meat or animal products. 2. Don't smuggle or purchase animal from unknown sources. 3. Don't touch or feed animal, especially migratory birds or poultry. 4. Don't release animals into the wild or randomly abandon animals. 5. Don't keep domesticated and wild animals together. And the last one is, don't visit animal farm. Take heart! We should be more careful and aware that avian influenza is holding a huge risk of outbreak in the future. Don't panic and stay calm. Follow the 5 do's and 6 don'ts guidelines. We can ensure food safety.
Oh shit.
处理的基本的概念是比较一致的。那你后面的食品安全里面有些东西是会 overlap 到。食品安全风险分析的话就会比较不一样，在谈的事情。所以大家我先把线上让大家有看到那个 NU 库，我现在登录过，上去有看到一周。那一周的课程里面呢，中间还会有一些，就打因为我们这样18周，期中考、期末考都我们没有上课，所以16周，所以我们的course呢总共有12周，10周左右哈。所以呢，所以我们就会有10周左右。我们就会有10周左右，其实会有录影的 video 在online，所以会先看完我们的这边公司问问题slide里面的大概的讲述，跟大家了解过。那你就会清楚说，我现在学的东西到底老师的check point的时候有没有check到，要我也知道，那就是你的基本说。所以在 NQ 库上面使用的话，遇到问题就是看你的东西。我们之前有课后前的回馈，就是问问题，就是那个，对，其他都上。谢谢。所以这个 course 上面都会有，所以大家都会确定的时候呢，就不一样问题，我会针对大家问的问题回答。那同学们遇到的问题在里面也可以帮忙回答，因为不是只有自己，可以互相 discussion， 互相 raise some question on the discussion first， 因为它有些讨论版的功能，就口可以 discussion 后，所以有时候我们提出一些问题来鼓励大家。因为课前其实就要先看，比如下一周要上，就下一周上课之前我会收到类似的问题，那我们也会问问题，我想每一周可能就要问问题，然后让大家能够 discuss 这个问题。Hello, I'm online again. Authority, I'm here again. Can you hear me?
Yes, clearly.
Okay. I will keep on this course. Yeah. I'm talking about the panic at the post-Tascari era. What should we know? Talking about the Tascari, about the poison, we need to know the history of the poison and Tascari. Just as mentioned here, it's about the history. It has been listed on the just list on the milestone poster. We can find here in English, here, a lot of poster here. Just wait a moment. You can find here is one English and clearable. So it's easy for learning. As I'm preparing to discuss about the history of poison or toxin, at first we will be talking about the diving farm material media. You can find here the interactions posted here. For the first one, lesson learned milestone of taskology. For the first one, actually, Shen Nong in BC 2600, around 2700 years ago, Shen Nong as the father of Chinese medicine. We also mentioned is a so-called the herb medicine. He testings for the 365 herbs and dying from the toxicity overdose. We know the poison or some herbs. Not all herb is full of nutrition. Sometimes they have content of so-called toxin. Just some budding potato. We can find there is some sitting here is so-called plant alkaline. 我们所谓的植物碱 plant alkaline. So some strong toxicities. So Shen Nong is the father of Chinese medicine, but finally he died from a toxic overdose. So even a specialist, when facing the toxin, it sometimes is still difficult to figure out and free from the toxicity. So he wrote a text about the one herbal medical experiment premise. Actually, on the herbal medical experiment premise is first, the material of the experiment is his body. Actually, in current stage time, we won't use such kind of situations for our lifetime to test the drug. They have some very standardized for the new drug development from the chemistries and the screening for the drug, then confirm the effect of the therapeutic effect of the drug. Finally, followed by how to make sure it's good for the people. Before that, we have some preclinical study by using animal. Currently, we also hope to reduce the using of animals as an experiment tool. So some so-called structural simulations then to lead to advanced to find out its effect. And after that, then the preclinical, then the clinical study. Phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, then if have already proved its efficiency and the potential toxicity, then be launched as a drug, as a treatment material. Then we all have phase 4 study. Such kind of phase 4 study we named is post-marketing survey. So it's very comprehensive and the process for the drug development. But in COVID-19 era, we can find the vaccination have some country just skip phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, something like the direct being launched its efficiency. Such in a different country, a different strategy here, just as we mentioned. So it's the first one. So as I mentioned here, the second one is about the papers in 1,500, 500, just like this one. We can click. So in Egypt, we can find the paper. It's around 1500 BCE. And one of the two oldest maintained medical documents. It makes a lot of records by the Egyptian medical history. This shows a degree of knowledge of working of human body. It means the anatomy have been recorded. And the working of body is some kind of physiology. So in structures, they can find the blood vessel and the blood. So it's very old medical history being recorded. Then followed by, you can find the poison hemlock. We can find a poison hemlock in around 400 BC. It's a kind of a colloid poison. We can find here some story, Romeo and Juliet. Some stories talking about the poison situations related to the poison hemlock. And for this one, Hippocrates, there is some so-called the father of the modern medicines. They've already figured out what's the situations. He write down some medicine and give some record at that time. Similarly, in this one, we can call Socrates. In Greek, it's a Greek philosopher. It's around 400 BC. At that time, just in the Western philosophy inquiry, at that time, his thinkings sometimes be mentioned as a poison to the general population or young generation. But because he did not follow the rule of the god or the empire, so finally he had been poisoned and shown as the hemlock. During the hemlock lead to have some colloid and lead to paralysis. So it's the death of Socrates, just as I mentioned here. In addition to that part, we know the so-called 乌头毒草, aconite. It's a poison used by Chinese at the tip of the arrows. So it's for hunting or to hurt your armies. Okay. So in addition to that part, we can find the Mithridates VI of Persians. He is the king in the Asia Minor since the 120 BC to 63 BC. They're talking the increased concentration of the poison. So when our body faces some sort of external poison to our body, we will have some response and generate some sort of protect response. Such will lead to us to upregulate our adaptive and protect response. So one day, he really has faced something, so he committed suicide by poison, but failed. So just as this mentioned, the poison will lead some life past. But if one poison king, we just mentioned here, he committed suicide but failed to lead to death. A very interesting record. In addition to that part, the first law related to the toxicology is around 100 BC. At that time, he created laws just mentioned. It's some situations, if it's illegal to poison people, because some people have already used the poison to poison others. So that's the time to make a law about relative toxicology. You cannot use the poison to lead others, to sacrifice others' life. So in this situation, the illegal to poison people make the first law, including the prisoner, to buy, to sell, to purchase poison in not permitted. Okay. So here, I just want to ask one question here. We will log in the Duvio again. I will start and please enter with 2 minutes. The question is, who made the first law related to toxicology? Please answer. Actually, I try to test if you can familiar with Zuvio, and maybe take a rest here. I can drink a cup of water. So all of you have already answered the questions. Let's check the result here. Two of you just name is Socrates, Sugerati. Four answer is Sura. Sometimes I'm wondering how can our memory only have 7 seconds, like fish. Just now I just mentioned is Surah is the first law, but after only seconds, we cannot catch it again. Maybe the U meeting we need to log in 1 minute later. Okay, I will keep on. Another one gets the answer. Who? 这是哪一个？Let's call. Congratulations. You also have been get the answer. It means you have already logged in the Zuvio. Okay. Let's keep on going. Actually, another poison is about arsenic. Arsenic in 1400s, the arsenic become a common poison, sometimes used by women to assist in convenient husband. So in Chinese Mandarin, we know is the 这是潘金莲的故事嘛，哈，已经被写入我们的《A Small Dose of Toxicology》里面去了。他们重新再申请了，我们下次就会有全部的。他们都回来了吗？Takahoko, hi. We log in again.
Hello.
Okay.
Yeah.
还有一个还没回来。Okay. Here we just mentioned arsenic. Actually, arsenic is so-called black leg, lead to black leg disease, 黑脚病. So, because arsenic will enhance the blood vessel regeneration. So, it means if you have some heavy metal like arsenic poison, so the arsenic accumulating in your body will inhibit our new vessel generation. So in our digital part, in our leg, if it accumulates this part, it will lead to so-called peripheral artery occlusion disease, because the distal part of the vessel is not easy to regenerate, so-called 黑脚病, black feet. So in this year, heavy metal lead to disease, but it also they have been developed as a new drug to treat so-called APL, so acute pre-leukemic disease, leukemia. So it acts as a salvage disease to let the cancer be treated. The disease-free 5-year disease-free treatment is more than 90%. So it's almost cured by using arsenic. So what's the difference between the arsenic being a poison and a drug? It should be dose. So in this course, we need to emphasize, we need to know how to different drug and poison is the dose. So if we just mention something is the poison, you are worried about that, we need to confirm and evaluate what's the exposed dose for us. That's the most important part. And for this one is Alexandra Litvinenko. It's an old Russian KGB. It's a top secret department in KGB. This one is the head director of this center. In 2006, he had been poisoned by the polonium-210, which just name is PU. It's an alpha particle emitter. It's some radiated alpha particle emitter. So it's some kind of ionized radiation have been fed through food. So what he eat, he drink, have been contaminated, be poisoned by others. So it's some very famous international event. Another part is talking about the biological weapon, and such as the terror attacks or anthrax. It's a bacterium, so-called Bacillus anthracis. We know it kills several thousand people or several people in U.S. in 1991. Actually, in U.S., the White House, I forgot which president have released some envelope. It's an empty envelope, nothing, but only with limited powder, white powder. He been confirmed it had been content about the anthrax. It's some spore of the anthrax be put in the envelope, delivered to the president of the USA several years ago. In addition to this kind of biological weapon, another part is about the toxicology science. In 1975, it had been confirmed that toxicology is so-called occupational exposure lead to cancer. How about who get in? Not Santa Claus. In old age, it's because not a big turnout there. So only the young boy get in there and clean it. But at that time, we know the age of within it is full of so-called 多环芳香烃 PH, polyachromic hydrogen, PAH. Currently, it has been confirmed as the so-called class 1 carcinogen. So it will lead to cancer. So the first connection between the occupational exposure to cancer has been developed, confirmed in 1775 by Percival Pott for the exposure of the pH. In addition to that, arsenic has been confirmed by the fluorescent toxicology. One French toxicology and chemist is the founder of the science of toxicology, confirms some people just pass away by some poison event and check the body content of the arsenic. Okay. In addition to the biological weapon, in the World War I, the chemical weapons have been confirmed to use in Ypres. In this area, during the German army and Allied armies, in some battles there in this area have been used the so-called biological weapon. A lot of people passed away at that time. But it's terrible for the biological weapon not lead to pass away immediately. Will not kill people, but some suffering. It takes time and a big suffer. So That led to the Chemical Weapon Convention, so-called CWC. In 1997, a lot of countries signed the concept. At that time, prohibited the using of the chemical warfare in World War I, such as the tear gas, chlorine, phosgene, and diphosgene, and the mustard gas. So the four have been prohibited to use. It got the international consensus. But in 2013, the Syria, so-called national combat, there is some chemical weapon be used there. It has been confirmed it's related to the chlorine. So we have already, a lot of countries signed the Chemical Weapon Convention, but still have some country within their national battle, they use the chlorine. So for some reason, public issue, a lot of people still face the risk of the chemical weapon. So in World War II, just as mentioned, Ypres serving in Belgium, using the. So in 1997, it has signed the convention, so-called Chemical Weapon Convention, prohibition of the development, production, stockpiling, and use of chemical weapons, and on their destructions. So I will give us one question here. Please answer, which of the following chemical is never used as chemical weapons? There are four choices. The first one is chlorine gas. Second is liquid nitrogen. Third is mortar gas. Fourth is tear gas. Okay, please answer. Okay, so let's show the correct answer here. Never used, not used, never used is liquid nitrogen. Chlorine gas, just I mentioned in Syria and in World War I, they have been used. Okay, so just like the memory of a fish, 金鱼的记忆哈。Within seconds, but we will still not keep it. Probably some, maybe not so focused, so just touch the wrong button. Okay. Okay, let's keep on going. So how to recognizing the hazard is very critical for this curriculum. When you deliver for you. Take an hazard as an example. The lead. We can find the Beethoven. He passed away at the age of 57. At 57. At that time, sometimes he feel abdominal pain, deafness. For a physician, I'm a nephrologist. So we will trace the symptom, excellent history of the patient, try to figure out what's wrong and what's the etiology. It's some kind of the hazard identification. For the Beethoven, a lot of people just expect the reason he faced the symptom about abdomen and deafness is related to the lead intoxication. Because during his period, he drank a lot. probably a heavy drinker. At that time, we have so-called the best glass for some party. By frequently use the glass made by lead. So the drink and wine, drink water, so the lead have been melting and have been delivered into the alcohol or been in the water, drinking water. So daily accumulation will lead to very heavy lead intoxication. So for this reason, we frequently need to confirm by the symptom. Here is a memory about the lead intoxication, A, B, C, D, F. A lot of symptoms like anemia. Here is the peritoneal line in the gingiva. And the colic or constipation, dry belly, ache, drop food like dyspepsia, and sometimes have related encephalitis, and the facial pallor is related anemia. So-called the health effect occupational exposure. In addition to that part, some history of ginger jack is a so-called alcoholic. It's so-called ginger jack contamination in 1929 is the TOCP, triosocresol phosphate. It's some kind of so-called organic phosphate. It's one chemical lead to paralyzing effect. A lot of people have been involved, so instant damage of nerve system in 50,000 people during that period. You can find their hand having like some convulsion or deformity, and by the muscle or or stretch or fractions. In addition to that part, in 1950s, the Minami Bay in Japan, the bay in the Kyushu Island, so it has been some contaminated by some plant factory, a so-called mercury have been drained into the bay. So in the bay, the fish, shrimp, have been harvested for people. We like sashimi of the fresh fish meal. So it's relatively high content of mercury. So it confirms it lead to some neurologic damage. So in addition to that part, we find the Silent Spring. The book has been wrote by Rachel Carson in 1962. It led to the DDT being banned. We know that DDT in World War II is very effective anti-bactericidal or the insecticidal agent. So actually, in that period, we used a lot of DDT to prevent the environment, some kind of insect bites. But several years later, we know it also acts as an endocrine disruptor. So for birds, they are easy to lead to the being thinning of the egg. So it's not easy for deliver for the next generation for the egg to deliver the bird or chicken for the next generation smoothly. Actually, in Taiwan, still have some similar situation about the in the mid-Taiwan, some industry area. You can find some content can be found here, lead to the move of the elementary school from the first move to here, move to second part, then move back. So after within 4 years, they have 4 times of the change the elementary school because the so-called air pollution lead to the hope to avoid the exposure of the PM of the industry area related exposure. OK， 连线有变不稳吗？问他们一下。只剩下我们一个学生。剩下江博而已哦。 江博士让你在而已、哦。我看一下 ，OK， 都还在哈。OK，I will keep on going here. Okay. Just as mentioned here. I will skip this question. Just now, I just want to ask which of the following chemical is banned pesticide in U.S. encouraged by Rachel Carson in Silent Spring? Which one? Okay, maybe we keep on answer the question. Okay. Maybe we skip it. For the next part, we have just talked about the regulation. For the toxicology, for the food safety issues, we need to have some regulation to let all the population be kept in a safe zone. So since 1906, the Pure Food and Drug Act have been launched. 不确定他们会看得到吗？ Maybe I need to check. Hi, Otari, can you hear me? Okay, oh, that's okay. I just to confirm because I worry about the internet stability. Let's keep on going. So we need to talk about the regulations in 1906, the Pure Food and Drug Act. Then followed by the 1925, we can find the Genova Protocol. Limit the use of the chemical and biological weapon warfare, followed by the FDA Food, Drug and Cosmetic Act, then followed by Occupational Safety Health until 1970. In 1990s, currently so-called REACH program, Nutrition, Evaluation and Authorization of Chemical. Such kind of REACH program is very strong and very dominant regulation in Europe. In European Union, we can find if we have some cosmetic hope to deliver to Europe, we need to follow the REACH programs. They just mentioned no more animal be as an experiment material for cosmetics material. So we need to follow it. For food safety issue, it will be an international event. We need to know the regulation in the different area. For the acid wood issues, it contains that's like the dignity, which includes the respect for the autonomy of human and animal subjects. So in addition to human, the equality should be to all the living in the world, in the plant, include the plant and into the animals. So veracity and adherence to transparency and the prevention of all the facts, so all parts can discover the truth, is very important. The third part is talking about the justice. It includes an equitable distribution of the cost, hazard, and gains. So we also need to know the integrity and understand the first approach for the ASIC, for the toxicology. So who is a specialist? You need to give a speech to all the population based on the toxicology, based on the integrity and the responsibility. So the toxicologists feel we need to consider the sustainability of the world. We know the WHO does hope the world in 2030, we need to establish a very, very stable and the continuity of the sustainable development goals. So there are a lot of goals have been set we need to face in addition to the old population. We still need to face the importance of the SDGs. And there come illegal issue here, just as I mentioned now, I have shown here. We have some social considerations. Toxicologists and the public professional plays a very important role in the society in protecting and promoting public health. And the social responsibility for the toxicologist to share and use the knowledge to promote the health and well-being of children and to maintain the right of all species to reach and maintain their full potential. That's the fundamental of the toxicologist need to do. So a lot of food safety incidents or food safety scandal, I wrote it in Mandarins, but it's familiar for us, and in any country still have some food safety events. So in this academic semester, please try to find your remote memory and recent memory to catch, is there any food safety event around you in your society? It will be a good material to discuss this event. Okay, so here we can find the next question about which of our option is the cause of the endless of food safety problem in Taiwan or in the world. Here, I just give some multiple choice question here. 应该是多选的，对不对？ Yeah. The first one is the consumer only can care about the price of food and chase a high CP value blindly. Or the manufacturer cut corner to reduce the cost. Or it's the fault of the government. Or it's a fact. The report in media are exaggerated. Well, how do you feel about this issue? Okay, it's during the first one. Anyone have been chosen by our classmate? Actually, you should have some statement here, and maybe you can statement on the native cool. Maybe use these questions: why you choose is a fact, or it's the fault of the government? Why? Or is no one choose to do one? Are you sure? The consumers always choose the high CP value. Sometimes. So price makes sense and lead to the event be happen. So at the end of the first class, I just hope you happy learning. So how to conduct our course in this academic first semester. Next Friday is March 5th. Am I right? Before that, please finish the NTU Cool, the video at home. Then, if you have any question, please type the event. Type the question. Okay. Anyone need to finish the video and ask some question. If you don't have any question, you just need to feedback how much have you learned from this one. And you also need to give some feedback in this week. We give one question about the feedback by using the Zuvio. We will have some Zuvio feedback. So 用 Zuvio 好了，还是 Intercool？ Okay. Our teaching assistant 嘉煌 just mentioned， 英文名叫什么 ？Brian。Brian just mentioned. Our teaching assistant mentioned. We will interact in class by using Zuvio, but at home, any homework should be finished in NTU Cool. Okay? We will raise some questions, and you need to give feedback about today's lesson, today's content in this week's NTU Cool. Okay? For the next week, you need to finish the video on NTU Cool at the second week and type the question you have been faced or any question you want to ask or discuss with classmates. Okay? So after the class, you need to give some feedback about the second week. We will give some open question about the discussion. Please give feedback there. Okay? So, hi, Kakazume, Otari, and Takahoko. We have already finished our first week's course. Just now I have been discussed about all the course will be finished in our NTU Cool. So do you have NTU Cool account? Yeah. So have you logged in the NTU Cool and find the food safety and health, the course? Have you already found in NTU Cool? 现场的可以休息的没关系，大概有听懂哈，我们再跟他最后确认一下。来，参加会议嘛哈？哪里？下礼拜我们就把这个连结全部都弄得更好，因为后来发现，果然厂商。忽然间就把它收回去，所以我还以为我今天还拥有我的无限长的时间。So,
not yet for me because I got the permission number of this course today and enter the permission number in the registration file. And maybe you don't accept me yet now, so I couldn't see.
I accept you. Okay. No problem. Yeah. I accept all the students have been registered in this course. That's okay. Okay. No problem. So now we still need to ask the student from France because several students had choose this course, but I'm not sure why they didn't log in the U-Meetings conference rooms. Maybe I will check it later. For the Japanese students, welcome to join the class. So just as I mentioned just now, finish the video before the class. So the next Friday afternoon, we will discuss the content of the video. Yeah, so you can ask the question in video. So you just pop on, just type and pop on. So it's easy for me to find what kind of question you faced, and I can answer directly. So I will answer the correct question directly. And for this week, we have already finished the course. Please feedback at the first week's curriculum on NTU Cool. I can know what should we change or modify to lead the course go smoothly. Okay. Okay. So we use the Zuvio as in-class, so-called the in-class brand teachings interaction app, because in video you have already studied first, but in class we should interactions. It's good. So it's called brand learning. Brand learning 在中文叫做混成教学啦 so-called brand learning. So such kind using Zuvio is a good tool. I can confirm you have been follow the class to try to check you, not get lost, not fall asleep like that. Okay? So is there any question? Please feel free to write a letter and feedback on the NTU Cool. Okay? Okay. Is there any other questions? Okay. If there are no question, see you next week. Bye bye. Bye bye.
Thank you so much, Dr. Chan.
Okay. See you. Bye. I will hang up. OK， 好，所有东西都在 NTU Cool 里面处理完。OK， 嘉王真麻烦。下课了，哦，这问题随时记下。 嘉煌，谢谢。